hello and welcome to the show. I am here in the crew with a new series. A police car has just turned up as I started. Well, that's fine, I'm not going to be moving for a little while, so you can drive past and I promise I won't cause any trouble, officer. Yes, I am at the bottom of the Pikes Peak course. We are going to be doing sort of a rally hill climbing style challenge, running various vehicles. Now, the course on here is all tarmac. I believe the real course has recently become all tarmac. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think I remember reading that somewhere. Anyway, yes, we're going to be running up this course with a selection of mainly performance and circuit class cars. I may throw in a few street vehicles as well, depending on what car can go into what category. We start with the Mini, which is a street vehicle. This is going to be as a sort of a benchmark time up the hill. Now, the way we're going to do the modifications, the upgrades to the car, this was a big problem for me in deciding how to run this series. The way it's going to work is, with the exception of the Mini we have at the moment, all the vehicles that we are going to use are going to be tuned as a basic level 40 car. When you buy a kit for a car, you have an option as to what level to buy for. I'm going to buy all of them at level 40 and then keep them standard, not add any parts. On this car, this is a level 1, a basic level 1 street kit on the Mini. So yeah, this is just sort of a benchmarky thing. So all the other cars will be the same, like rated at the same performance, but they will all have their own strengths and weaknesses: acceleration, top speed, grip and braking, and so on. So the cars it'll be as fair as possible on all of the vehicles. As I said, the course here is an all tarmac one that snakes its way up to the top of the mountain here. However, it is not going to be easy for the circuit cars, especially. Circuit cars don't like the bumps that are on this course. Yes, it is tarmac, but it is still quite a rough road in places. So the circuit cars may not dominate this as you would perhaps expect. The timing is going to be done on a stopwatch, sort of post recording, if you like. So I'm going to be driving up there, like live record driving up there. It'll be recorded. It will be timed, from the recording, because there's no other way of doing it as far as I can tell. At the moment, we'll be running from this little line down here at the start of the course, and the finish line is going to be up here somewhere. Here it is, where the roads there's a junction. That's the word I was looking for. And this telegraph pole is going to be the finish line. Now, there are a couple of other dangers to worry about. The first one being other players. There doesn't seem to be many. I don't think there is a way of going sort of single player, if you like, not having other players around. So there is potential, though I seem to be quite lucky at this precise moment in time. There is nobody really around on the course. That could be a scare, coming around a corner and find something flying the other way. The other slight thing that I didn't realise would be on here is there is the occasional AI car finds its way onto the course. There's a couple of corners, and it's only 2 corners I've ever seen AI cars on, but they could be on the course causing problems. Who knows? But we're going to go and find out. Now, each vehicle is only going to get 1 attempt at this, so I'm gonna have to drive well with the cars. It's not terribly difficult to drive on this game. The brakes are so good you can brake incredibly late into corners, so I think it should be okay. Yes, times may get quicker slightly as we go along, but I have spent quite a long time practicing this course with the Mini, because it's just so I sort of knew what I was doing. But I wanted to use the Mini because I really do quite like this car, which is odd. I am not a fan of the modern Minis, not at all, but I do like this car. Right, we're going to get this one on the starting line. Don't mind me, I'll be setting off in a minute. If you could just wait there and not crash into me, thank you. Right, we are going to go. I'm going to go first person for this because I can't drive it otherwise. Okay, we're going to set off and hope for the best, really. With this is an interesting route that snakes up this mountain. The sun is just starting. We've gone into Forza 5 mode as the sun is just starting to set over here. Hopefully, I don't mess up now that I've started recording. Yeah, as I say, this Mini Cooper is really very, very good fun to drive. I've messed around with quite a few vehicles on this game. There we go. Yeah, traffic on this is the one corner where we might see traffic. This first one is okay if there's traffic at. It's not too bad particularly. It's the one later on, if we see traffic on, there's probably going to be a big accident, so I'm hoping we don't. What was I saying? Yes, this car, probably the most fun I've had to drive a vehicle. It's just got it's not particularly a quick car. Ooh, we were a little bit out wide there. It's not massively fast, this thing. It tops out about 140, and because we're mostly going uphill here, it does struggle with a little bit of lack of power. But it is such a lovely car to drive. You can throw it around through the corners. It has lots of grip. It has very good brakes. And it's just a joyful car to drive. It is a four-wheel drive vehicle, interestingly. I will prove that once we... Whoa! Okay, bit of a bump mid-corner there. Got a bit of a slide on. Yeah, it is a four-wheel drive. I didn't expect it to be four-wheel drive. I'm not entirely sure why it is four-wheel drive as well. But it is, and it's... Yeah, it's good fun to drive. I don't think there's any way that it tells you what drive a car is. The only way you can tell is to put it up against a wall and boot it. It seems to be the only method. There doesn't seem to be like the drive train, drive line, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't seem to be a thing really. But yeah, it's such a lovely car to just sort of throw around. Oh, there's a deer on the course. Excuse me. There's also a bit of a bump. I've got to be careful. You can't really get away with cutting the corners up here. It's a silly thing to try. It is very, very easy to hit. There's all sorts of like little rocks that can throw the cars off. Oh, we're taking that corner. We got it a little bit too deep into that corner. Slightly scraped it off a wall. It's fine. It's okay. We've done most of the twisty bit. Now we're coming up to the scary fast. I say the scary fast, but in this car we're all right. We're only doing sort of 100, 130. This is where the likes of the circuit cars and performance cars don't like. That is sort of a jump, and then we've got a couple of fast corners coming up. Please don't beat traffic around the... Whoa! Just a little bit wide again on the bumps. This is the corner that we can occasionally see traffic on. Sure enough, there is an SUV out. Well, luckily, that's about the best place you can have traffic on that corner. So around the final sort of turn and past the telephone pole back there. Mini makes it to the top of the course. Fairly undramatic. There was a couple of times where I nearly messed it up across the bumps. But it's a fun car. It's a really nice car to drive. I just like messing around with it, throwing it around city streets. It's very good fun. It's not the quickest, but you don't have to be going 180 miles an hour everywhere to be having fun. And yeah, this is an excellent vehicle to be messing around with. Okay, our next vehicle is so big it barely fits on the screen. It is the Hummer H1 with the most incredible rear wing you have ever seen. It is just fantastic. I spent a long time saving up to get this car purely because I saw what wing it could have on it in one of the random single player missions, and therefore I wanted it because of ludicrous wing. It's quite a crazy vehicle. This is a performance class Hummer. That is a strange sentence to say, yes. We've got some fantastic exhausts at the back, and yes, they do actually work. There we go. You can have fire coming out of the top of the car as well. It's just the most ridiculous looking vehicle I have ever seen. But it's fine. I like it. I like crazy cars, so this one is certainly winning. Did I scrape something? Right, as far as the statistics, there we go, I can speak, go on this car. Where is it? Mobile car tuner. This one impressed me. As you can see, we've got a level 40, sort of like a stock level 40 car. 1,061 horsepower in this, 1,055 torque, which is some very, very big numbers. Yes, the car is quite heavy, 5,700 pounds, although that's lighter than the Hummer you get on Forza, I think that Hummer's still more. I can't remember now. It's good. It's quite a lot of weight, yes, but it's got a lot of power and a hell of a lot of torque. So this could go quite quickly. Also, before we do set off, I will show you. This has got the most useful This is the only car I've ever seen that has useful nitro. We'll just turn this around here. Every other car, nitro is just a button for instant wheel spin. Look at this. We can use nitro in the Hummer. And it's absolutely okay with it, even from low speeds, if I remember which one nitro is and don't get handbrake this time. There we go, see? No problem. It works. I may have found the best car for performance racing in a Hummer. Not having that wheel spin with the nitro is quite useful, in all honesty. But since we're not using nitro for this particular challenge, to keep everything fair, that advantage isn't so important. It's such a stupid looking car. I love how you can even see the top of the shock absorbers going on in the back of it. Never mind. Okay, now this should be considerably quicker than the Mini. It's got a hell of a lot more power. Okay, yes, it's heavier and all that, but this, I would expect this to be quite quick going up this course. How hard it will be to drive, I don't know. We shall find out in the Hummer. I love how it's got to be the fastest accelerating Hummer. That's 0 to 60 in sort of, what, 3 seconds? It's probably under 3 seconds, and that's going uphill as well. It is a heavy car, though. We've got to remember that when it comes to the braking and so on. It is a bit heavier. I love how the speedo is. The speedo is just useless in this car. Oh god, there's traffic here again. Oh no, that's a policeman. Don't mind me. Why are the police patrolling the Pikes Peak course? I don't know. Is Pikes Peak a normal road? I don't know that bit either. Maybe it is a normal road. Not that it goes anywhere, but never mind. Don't worry, officer. There's just not a crazy Hummer going up this course. Yeah, if this was a bit of a faster course, you could probably keep the speedo at the top of it constantly. The rev counter's not going to be too happy either. Whoa, that's a big bump that we've got. This is quite a lot wider than I was well, than I'm used to is probably a better way of putting it. Right, it's a little bit funny actually, a little bit funny to drive in some respects, as I've driven quite a few vehicles on here, and a lot of them they all seem to have their own sort of handling quirks, if you like. But with this vehicle being so big and so heavy, there's just some slight unresponsiveness going on, and that is a measure of something, unresponsiveness. Yeah, it's just a little bit, as you would kind of expect, just a little bit sluggish on some of the turns. And then if you do have to correct it, it's not too happy about it. But it's quite a safe car to drive. In fact, there is one good thing about this. You will find with a lot of the performance cars and the circuit cars on here, they become very twitchy and uncooperative. It's the problem I mentioned in the last crew video about the traction. When you lose traction, the game just can't quite figure out what to do with it, what to do with the handling model, what to do with the car. But it doesn't lose traction ever. There is so much grip in this vehicle. Oh god, we're flat out 150 miles an hour. Ooh, it lifted up a little bit. We're going to have a brake and a downshift. Ooh, that is the real problem with a Hummer there, is if you turn into a corner and you've got it wrong, or just fractionally wrong, you're not correcting it. It just can't do that. All the other cars are okay. I've got another bloody civilian car out there. But the Hummer, it just, yeah, you can't really rescue it as such. Hey, and across the line. It's got some good points. I will give it that. It has got some good points. The fact that the nitro is useful and the huge amount of rear end grip you get with this car, truck thing, is quite nice. It's quite safe in some respects, but you can't really sort of correct something. If you've made a tiny miscalculation, shall we say, in turning into a corner, you can't do much about it. You're kind of committed. It's so heavy it doesn't change direction quite as nicely as you would ideally like, but it's surprisingly nice to drive, and it has that wing. Oh dear! Oh, something's gone wrong. It got unhappy. I think we may have broken the front suspension. Okay, quick, on to the next car. Our third and final vehicle. It is the Circuit Hot Rod. Certainly one of my favourite looking cars on this game. It does look absolutely fantastic, this vehicle. It's actually our first rear-wheel drive car, which is unlike me to have two four-wheel drive ones. Yeah, this is a circuit class car, which should technically, I guess, be quicker than the Hummer. They've got the same rating number thingamajig as each other. However, the circuit cars, they tend to be very, very quick, but a little less cooperative over the bumps, which could be problematic, possibly, for this car, but it should be mighty, mighty fast. As far as the statistics go on this vehicle, again, everything is being kept. I've got a few parts, I haven't put them on though. It's all it's the sort of the basic level 40, much less power, an awful lot less torque, but we're well under half the weight of the Hummer. So yeah, I mean, this should be a blooming fast car if we can keep it under control. It should change direction quicker than the Hummer, but yeah, the bumps could cause issues for this. Oh, and you don't see very much out of it. That's a problem. We can't even see turn one. Okay, we will give it a go though. We'll see how the circuit car does. These things launch so unbelievably quickly. We will have a lot more wheel spin to contend with. Oh bloody hell, also the sun is setting, the wildlife are attacking the course, and already this is not as nice. It's not as nice to drive as the Hummer. Dear God, visibility in this is shocking. It's almost as bad as the Dukes of Death from GTA 5. It really is. That's absolutely terrible in here. Yeah, it's just not quite as nice. Oh, we're very, very rough over the inside of that corner. And then he doesn't like it. It really doesn't like that. Oh, we're turning in. We're trying to get a little bit of a slide going on in this, which is not at all what we want. I'm really worried about wheel spin. That is the big problem with these circuit cars. Once they lose traction, so you will probably see me short shifting quite a bit on these runs. Once they start losing traction, that is when we have some serious problems. And with these, it's actually doing a bit better than I expected at the moment. It's driving quite well up here. There's a couple of scares early on, but I'm doing a bit better job now of keeping it together through here. Yeah, the minute we start losing traction, we could have some big problems with this car. Ooh, again, a little bit of a bump on there. There is a something, I don't know what, I think that was a Camaro of some description, on the course. Right, into this next corner. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed. It's not been as unhappy over the bumps as I expected. I ran my Alpha 8C circuit car up here, and that was horrible. It really did not like the bumps at all. It was constantly wheel spinning, losing traction, but this is doing really quite well at the moment. That is surprising. We're coming up towards the now lovely and scary fast section. Got to be careful of trying to cut the corner like that. That's a quick way to find a rock or a hidden jump somewhere and end up go flying off the course. There we are now coming up to a jump. Speaking of jumps, dare I take this flat in the... I'm going to have a little lift. It got some airtime over there. It's a break and downshift for that next corner. I played it risky on the with the rocks there on the inside. Oh, it got unsettled. Oh, pickup truck on the course, and there's two pickup trucks on the course, but it is around the scary corner and is across the line for the circuit hot rod. That did a lot better up the course than I expected. Actually, I will give it credit on that one. That actually had a lot of traction compared to what I was thinking. A little bit of traffic in the wrong place. Not ideal for that corner. I can't figure out sort of why, as and when the traffic spawns, so just gonna have to live with that one. Luckily, we managed to avoid it. Yeah, there was decent. I'm thinking that the huge rear wing probably helped with that one. Yeah, there was quite a lot of rear end grip in that car. It didn't lose traction as many times as feared, and even with the terrible visibility, could just about figure out where I was going. So yeah, that is not too bad. Not too bad from the hot rod. On to the times, it is not surprising to see the Mini down at the bottom there, considering it is only sort of like a basic level 1 car. However, between the hot rod and the Hummer, there is not much difference at all. That is a very, very quick time from the Hummer. Just the fact that you can use the power, the fact that you can... It's in many ways a very safe car to drive coming out of all the corners. In the hot rod, you're constantly worried about, can I use the power? Can I go on the throttle now? Dare I take this much speed? And so, whereas in the Hummer, it's a much safer car, and I think that's why it is so close between them. But the hot rod does go fastest, just only by a little bit. But the hot rod does go to the top of the table. Yeah, I was amazed just how close them times were. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.